I think when I walked into the locker room at the end of the game, I think at that time it dawned on me that we won a game without Tim Hardaway in the lineup at all. And I think that the good news was that we scored 88 points. The bad news was we gave up 42 and 44 in the second half, where I think we really missed his presence at that time. So at the same time, I really loved, if you look at a couple of outstanding numbers, the assists, the turnovers, Karis LeVert just being thrown in there. I mean, a month ago he was a red shirt, and now he's in the starting lineup. Love the way he performed. We have challenges with Central Michigan because of the speed that they run their break. Probably as good as anybody's run it. The fast break after a basket like Arkansas and people like that, North Carolina State, probably very similar and very difficult to catch up with. But really love the way we defended pretty much in a half-court situation. They have some kids, 24, 34, that are both really good shooters from the outside. They run great sets for them. We defended it very well. So it's a win. It's 13-0 in the non-conference. We'll take that every year if we can get it. And I think it was a challenging non-conference schedule. Now it's on to the Big Ten.
On your left, Coach Mike.
John, how serious is Hardaway's ankle?
It's really tough to say, but we made educated decisions thinking that it's the long road in the Big Ten is more important than having him ready for every game. If it was a Big Ten game, we still would have sat. I want to be very clear about that. He was not, based on what I know, what I found out about the injury, it's something that needed a little bit of time, or it could nag him all year long. I do not know. I don't know when he'll be back.
Rob.
Just talk about Trey's game, too. He seemed to carry you and not be flustered. It's kind of trite to say that he's not flustered anymore, but he really had a good spirit about himself today.
He is the most veteran sophomore as far as his poise as I've ever been. He is as veteran as any sophomore I've ever been around. And I'm looking at him like, you know, like he's the old man out there running the offense. I mean, because we knew that there was going to be 3 or 4 freshmen in the court with him a lot tonight. And he just is steady as can be. So, you know, the matchup zone, the 1-3-1 zone, it's things we don't, you know, we've seen 2 straight games of 100% zone. And there's a lot of different things they do that he's reading. Really proud of him.
Stay on your right, Chris.
What was it that led to Nick's looks in the second half that weren't there in the first half?
Well, they really, we did some different things in our offense, number one, but they just really keyed on him and just really stayed with him as much as they could. And what happened is that gave great openings for Karis, for Trey Burke, for everybody else. Once they started paying more attention to Trey Burke, which I think everybody should, Nick was wide open.
Been a pretty crazy month for Karis. He was redshirting, I think, like this time last month. Just, you know, he started tonight. Just talk about that.
Yeah, I think the team, you know, we have this thing, we say next man up, and it happens where we hate to see injuries, but, you know, a guy like Esso Akune, Matt Vogrich, Blake, and Karis, I mean, they're in the gym all the time knowing they might not play at all, or they might have 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but then there's a time you're going to have to go get 20. Are you going to be ready? Karis really showed that he was ready today. He's got, as you can see, he's got some things to his game. He shoots from 3, but he also can get in the lane pretty well, and he sees people.
Mike?
Was giving him that many minutes kind of maybe like a thought almost down the road to March a little bit that, you know, this experience, provided Tim comes back, would be helpful potentially then?
Well, I mean, we had no other choice. I mean, he's Tim's backup. So it's not a depth chart like football, but it is. He's Tim's backup in the backcourt. So when Tim is down, there's 40 minutes waiting. So there was no plan to give him more minutes. He was going to be in there as long as he played well enough to stay in there, and I thought he did.
And just one thing on Tim's injury, what exactly is it?
It's an ankle injury. I mean, that's all I can really say about it this time while we continue to look at it more.
Back on your right.
John, is this easy for Glenn? Would you think? I mean, he had 20 points again. I mean, is he adapting as fast as anybody?
You know what? We're finding out what he does well, and encourage him to continue to work on that. Plus some other things we want him to do more of. But he's starting to understand really when to cut, whether it's cut back door, when it's to shoot it, when he should drive it, the rebounds he can get, the loose balls. He's just playing off his instincts a lot, and we try to put him in action that he just can play ball. So the more that he plays, the more comfortable he is what we're doing.
And then I know you said you don't know. Is Tim then questionable? Would you say for Northwestern
I
there next
don't
week?
know. We wanted to use these times to give him yesterday off, today, to tomorrow. We don't play till Thursday. We're going to give him as much rest as we can, and then they'll probably take another look at it.